Welcome back, everybody. I'm Dorothy Morgan, and I'm a professional astrologer. Today I'm going to talk about the new moon in Gemini, which is on Saturday, June 12th at 7:15 a.m. Eastern Time. Now, with this full moon, today is a very busy day. So we have many aspects, which means we have a day full of possibilities. First off, we have Mercury and Pluto in a quincunx aspect with each other, and this can draw us into compulsive behavior. We also have Saturn and Venus in a sextile. Both are currently very receptive to new commitment and a common purpose in our relationships. Both Saturn and Venus are in a quincunx aspect to Neptune, which makes a yod pattern in the chart of the new moon. This means altogether that we have an environment with this new moon where us or another person may seem unapproachable and there is difficult energy abound. How we work with this busy energy is through being genuine and with self-acceptance, and this includes our own limitations. We also need to make adjustments in our thinking and set realistic goals for ourselves, and this works really well with today's new moon, which is in Gemini. When we have a new moon in Gemini, number one thing that we work on is communication. We also can focus on any new learning that we need to have, logic that comes into play, cleverness, because this is an air sign. Gemini is an air sign. Social ease. Geminis love to socialize. And positive daily interactions. And another thing that we can do with this new moon in Gemini is to work through calming our mental anxiety, because a lot of these aspects that are going on today that aren't even related to the moon can build an anxiety and just an energy internally that we're not sure how to work through. So we can work with this new moon to calm down these anxieties that we may be having. So if you didn't get all that, go ahead and just hit rewind and start over, because that's just some real basic energy for the day and the new beginnings that we can bring in with the new moon. And if you haven't done this before, what we do with the new moon energy you're about to hear about is we have a 48-hour time period after the new moon each month to set new goals, new wishes for ourselves, and we're going to use the Gemini energy. The best time is within 8 hours if we can. And I'll give you those times in a minute, and they will be on the screen. But what you want to do is get a notebook devoted just for these new moon goals, new moon wishes for every month. So get yourself a notebook devoted just for this. So each month we'll date and handwrite a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 10 goals or wishes. More than 10 dissipate the energy, so we want to just keep it to 10, between 3 and 10. So remember, once again, handwrite these and keep them. You can look at them every day as a reminder to just reinforce the energy if you like, or once you're done writing, you can just close the book and don't look at it again until the next new moon. The choice is always up to us, what feels best for us. For this month, we have the new moon from 7:15 a.m. on June 12th through 7:35 p.m. on June 12th. It's a 12-hour time period, which is excellent for writing down our wishes. We always need to avoid the void of course moon, which starts at 7:35 p.m. and goes through 9:50 p.m., and that is on June 12th at night. And you do nothing in that 2-hour and 15-minute time period. All of this is on the screen. Hit pause if you need to. Any time after 9:50 p.m. on June 12th, when the moon enters the sign of Cancer, we're clear for the remaining 48 hours, which will be through June 14th at 7:15 a.m. All right, Gemini energy. Gemini rules motions of all kinds. That includes short trips, cars, the mechanics that work on our cars, all kinds of transportation, and even restless energy. So if you need to work on any of these or would like to bring something into your life in this regard, here is a sample goal that you can set, you can write down. I easily attract and purchase the right car for me at a price I can afford. I want to easily attract the right auto mechanic for me and my car's problems. And as far as anxiety goes, or restless energy, I want all anxiety or nervousness easily lifted from me. Next, Gemini rules all forms of learning, education, print media, and the internet, actually. So if anything in this category needs to be part of your life, you can add one or more of these to your list. Here's a sample. I easily find myself completing my school studies in a successful and non-stressful way. I easily find myself attracting the right sources of information to answer the questions that I have. I easily find the right words for my print advertising. Gemini rules all forms of communication, which include writing, speaking, effective listening, teaching, understanding different opinions. Sample ideas are: I want to easily find myself asking the right questions that lead to my understanding how other people think. If you're a writer, you can put down something in the sense, I want to easily find myself writing at least blank, fill in the blanks, so many times a week. I want to easily find myself taking classes in public speaking that result in my having self-confidence in this area. I easily find myself listening to those people around me. These are some quick ideas on how we improve our communication skills. Gemini also rules the close relationships we have with our siblings, neighbors, schoolmates, aunts, uncles. And if you need any help in that regard, here's a sample that you could put down. I find I could just fill the blank in the blank and write down for a whole bunch of different people once in a while. And I want easy, constructive communication to occur in my relationship with. And again, you could fill that in a couple of different places. A couple of different people, actually. I want to easily find myself going out and meeting new people socially, at least a couple times a month, or however many times. This, again, helps you get in closer touch with your neighbors and people in your local area, which is, again, something that Gemini rules. Lastly, I want to go over some of the unskilled ways that people use the Gemini energy, and whether you're a Gemini or not is irrelevant. Everybody has Gemini in their chart somewhere. So Gemini tends to be overly excessive in questions, sometimes can be superficial, maybe a little bit too much in the gossipy, and a little indecisive at times, just because Gemini energy can see two sides of the coin at the same time, so it's not always easy for them to, or for the Gemini energy to make a decision. So if you have any of these things that need to be removed from your life, or you'd like to include them in part of your life, here's a couple ideas. So one of them is, I want the habit of second guessing totally lifted from me. We tend to overthink and not listen enough. Again, unskilled applications of Gemini. So we need to just hear and listen what we need to hear and listen, and not add our own dialogue. I want the habit of constantly changing my mind totally lifted from me. And lastly, I want the mental overactivity easily lifted from me. These are some ways that we can release some of the unskilled applications of Gemini energy. All right, that's going to be it for now. Thank you all very much for listening. Coming soon as I can fit it in my schedule, I will be doing a big post on the upcoming eclipse on June 26th, and there'll be another one on July 11th. If you'd like to read more and contact me, please do so through my website, naturalrightscharms.com, or you can email me at nonamorgan@comcast.net. And I do readings on the phone, so if you're not in my local area, I'm in New Hampshire. If you're not in my local area, you're more than welcome to contact me through my website and have a session with me. Thank you all very much for listening, and I hope you can move through this Gemini energy with ease and grace. Thank you once again, and blessed be.